Hello, everybody. Welcome to another lovely episode of Chidera's Corner. It is I, your lovely host, Chidera. And for today, we have an amazing guest with us. I would love for you guys to welcome our guest. She is a living testament of the fusion of Cameroonian roots and American dream. Born in the vibrant culture of Cameroon, our guest today, MT, is not just a woman, not just a wife, not just a mother, but an entrepreneur, a showstopper, an author, navigating the complexities of success in the land of opportunities. So please join me in welcoming to the stage our guest today, MT. Woo! Take six. I think you're still on mute. Okay. Are you on mute? No, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Hi,
welcome aboard.
Chidera.
Hey.
Thank
So it has been the funniest like 20 minutes trying to get all this whole technical stuff together, but we finally made it. We
Yes, we
finally made
have.
it. Awesome. So welcome again to the show today, and we're going to be talking about your story of ambition and determination, and your culture, and the influence. But before we get started on our wonderful discussion today, please give us a little bit more introduction, I guess, of who you are. I know I kind of gave a little snippet, but we want to hear it from you.
Great, great, great. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity for being on your show. It's my pleasure. And just so you know, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
And about myself, like you've introduced, I go by MT Ehichoye, but the full name is Marie Therese, and I'm originally from Cameroon, and I just recently moved to the United States of America, and yeah, that's a little bit. I'm sure you have a lot of questions that's gonna, open up a lot more about me.
Yes, indeed. And so, yeah, no, this is wonderful though. I'm really happy that we're having a discussion. And for the viewers that are watching, MT is not just a special guest on the show. She's also someone I consider as a good friend of mine. And she, whenever we talk, we're always talking about hustling, how we're going to make money and get financial freedom for ourselves as the first generation, Africans in the diaspora, how we're gonna open doors for ourselves and our family. So
Yes.
I would like to begin our topic or our conversation today in talking about how your culture, right? You mentioned you have a Cameroonian background. How do you infuse your Cameroonian heritage into like your daily life as an entrepreneur as well?
Great, great, great. First of all, how I infuse my culture in my daily life, definitely the food. That's infusing my Cameroon roots, the food. Yeah, that is how you can't be an entrepreneur without good food in your system. But besides
Absolutely.
that, as an the culture of the morals, how I was raised. And I think the big part for me is, my community where I came from Cameroon. Like, my life was a little bit different from the rest of my friends, and that's because I was raised by deaf parents in Cameroon.
Mm,
And with that being said, my culture as a Cameroonian and being raised by deaf parents was a little bit different from the rest of my peers, which has probably led me to where I'm at today. And
mhm.
my goal, my business ideas and everything that all comes from my roots. As a child of deaf parents.
Yeah, wow. I did not know that part. No, that's
Oh,
dope though. I did not know. But no, I think that's amazing. And obviously I've seen you on Instagram doing the sign language, teaching. You have a book out, and we'll get into more of the things that you're already doing with the skills that you know, you have now. So new beginnings, right? As a new mother, you're a new wife, you're a new mother, you're new of a lot of different things. Okay. A lot of good things.
I
Um, how has your perspective on entrepreneurship evolved with all these new beginnings that has come into your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like you said, I'm a new wife, and a new mom. And like, having to blend all that with, the business mind that I have is, it's a lot. And it's a lot in the sense of, first of all, the drive is different. And the drive that I had as a single, girl is different from the drive that I have now as a mom, as a wife. Because now, if the drive was this when I was single, now the drive is this. Because it's like now I have a partner, I have a home, and I want us to be as comfortable as possible. And having a child now, being a mom, I don't want my child to lack anything. And with that, that has been like my drive. And it's like, okay, I have to do it. If I've been slacking, if I've been sleeping, this is time for me to pick myself back up and get it going. But at the same time, I try to be more strategic on how I do it, and not just be reaching at so many things at the same time, but to focus on one thing at a time, so that the success grows. And as I focus, put all my energy and effort on one thing, when I see the successful result, I move to the next thing. So being a mom and a wife, that has been the little changes in my
Mm.
my business. Yeah, and yeah.
No, that's dope. I remember when you were like, Chidera, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh. You know what that means,
I
right?
know.
Yeah, we need to make money. We need to
I
make sure
know.
we have
That
our passive income streamlined, everything. So no, that's dope though. And then, with that being said, you have to now have to like balance. You have so much that you're balancing, right? You are a mom, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, you're also a 9 to 5er, like most of us out here. Um, and so what strategies do you use to balance the demands of motherhood, marriage, and entrepreneurship, and even, being an employee yourself as well? What strategies do you deploy to help you balance all of these demands?
Yeah, and let me tell you, being an employee, it's it's a lot.
Uh,
it's it's like, man. So the way how I balance it is finding help, and if that means I have to pay for the help, I get the help. And the help is, okay, I have a child now and I have to go back to work, and I cannot be able to be there with my child 100% and be at work 100%. So I
yeah.
need to ask, get help. And one of the ways is getting a nanny to help me take care of my home, take care of my child specifically. And on the side of my business, like if there's stuff that I usually do on my own, I find sources, different sources to help me do them, like Fiverr or Upwork. I go online
Mm,
and find have the skills in what I'm trying to do. Let's say if I was designing my book myself, and probably would take me 3 days, and honestly, I don't have that 3 days to design my book. I go on Fiverr, or Upwork, and I find someone, and I, of course, you pay them, but that's why I work the money, right? To
yeah.
get more money, but
Right.
so I find, people to, because I feel like if you can assign those tasks to a lot of people, it makes the work easier. You won't
Easier.
be very stressful, because there's some things that you have to do it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
cannot find some a wife to my husband. I have to be the
No,
wife to my
you
husband.
cannot do
So,
that.
yeah. So if there are other things that I can find someone to do, and
Hmm.
even if that means I have to pay them, that's what I do. I find people, and my time now, try to be more organized. If probably I sit on my phone and I'm scrolling on unnecessary stuff, why not use my time better? I get on.
Nice.
If I'm scrolling, I make sure I'm scrolling on something that is going to help me grow my business, going to help
Hmm.
me in the life right now. So yeah, that's the little way that I try to strategize and have the balance as a wife, a mom, a 9 to 5, and a business woman at the same time.
Nice. No, I think that's dope. I think I need to also. learn to balance some things too, because the way I be sending you a lot of videos on Instagram. It's like I live on Instagram. I have an addiction to Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. I need to get help. But I have noticed though, I hear people say, you get stuck in scrolling and scrolling, and time just passes you by. But I have been deploying a little mechanism by following certain groups or pages that put out information that is useful to me, content that is useful to me, that helps me to help me to develop a better quality of life and living. I see the inspirational, like, those girl pages that show you the ideal lifestyle, and you're, not even the hot girl season, but like the classy, expensive girl season with the teacups and everything. And so I'm like, you know what? I need to be reminded of where I'm trying to get to. So those things, they do remind me, and I'm like, okay, back, we need to get back on track. So no, that's dope that you
Yeah,
share this detail. And
thank you.
yeah, girl. And then I know a lot of the things that we face, especially Africans in the diaspora, we are having to, that cultural blend, right? A cultural blend of where we come from. And earlier you mentioned how your culture has helped you as an entrepreneur, the morals, that you were taught has shaped you. So now the decision making that you make as an entrepreneur is quite different. And not everybody gets that, right? So have you like faced any unique challenges, as obviously as an immigrant entrepreneur here in America, and have you, how have you been able to overcome some of those challenges? Because I know it's not
Sure.
easy being an immigrant in this country, I swear to God. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is not being an immigrant. You really, it's just like you have one point off. You just then not only an immigrant being a black, and not only a black being a woman. My
Mm,
sister, we
the
have a lot
pressure,
that is.
the pressure is getting what's that?
But yeah, it's like when I started, right, and I think so. Part of my drive is also the fact it's because of one of the challenges that I face as an immigrant, and that is when I just came to this country, I didn't have my documents, I didn't
Mm,
have my paper,
mm,
and a lot of people don't talk about this, but I think there are a lot of people out there that go through this, the struggle of not having papers, and when you don't have papers, you cannot really work, especially
mhm,
work jobs that you want to do. You probably be doing something here and there. And
mhm,
because of that challenge, that really got me, frustrated. And that because I'm an immigrant, I'm already facing some challenges. Probably a white person here can do anything, and I want to do it, but I'm limited. And,
mhm,
I just, with that, I said, okay, so I don't have papers. What can I do to
mhm,
bring in some income without having to, work for someone, because I need papers to work for someone? And that's when my head went spiral. Like YouTube, I'd be like, YouTube, you don't
mhm.
need papers. You don't need papers. And what other ways? And that's when I, got into print on demands, and I got into that was before I started the books that I started creating. I saw the books, but I wasn't still sure because I wanted to find my niche.
Mhm,
With all those little things, I was like, I can have this, passive incomes without having my papers. Like, I won't let those challenges hold me back. I won't let the fact that I'm an immigrant hold me back from attaining my goals. Yes, I might not be where I want to be at that moment, but let
mhm,
me do something rather than sit cursing America out for not
mhm.
giving me the chance to, get where I want to be. Let me find different ways around it. Be like, okay, I'm an immigrant. I cannot probably work in a corporate job, but okay, there are other things that if I put in some effort and some time, I can still be getting, some income on the side, and to help me. But yeah, that's how I've used, the fact of being an immigrant, to help me in my business and in my life.
No, that's dope. I don't think a lot of people know the challenges, especially African, specifically West African immigrants. I don't know what it's like to be East African, South African, the Northern Africans. I don't think they'd even claim to be African sometimes. um, and I don't think people that are in America, when I talk to my American friends, they're like, y'all just do blah blah blah. And I'm just like, sweetie, if it was that easy for us, we would have been, you know what I'm saying? And even
Yeah.
for the Latinos, when I worked in a legal firm a few years back, I realized like, man, it's really tough for immigrants out here in this country, and people don't know, they don't realize, and they misjudge. And it's really good that you are even willing to talk about and share about this, because a lot of Africans that are here in the diaspora that are still in the process of getting their documents. And these are people that are legally here. The illegal ones, I think they have a better life than the rest of us. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't do nothing. They're just hiding between, whatever.
Yeah.
But the rest of us that, we came here properly, and we're working hard. I mean, it's really tough and I wish I could send this episode to USCIS, because y'all need to get your act together. Y'all do. You guys, your
Yeah.
people's lives are on hold. You can't get. I remember. I don't even want to get started, but people can get jobs. You have the credentials, you have the qualifications, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the skills, but you can't work. Or you can't
Just,
even travel. Hmm.
just
No, go
to
ahead.
add, like, when you see some people say, like, the white people, that they don't have this struggle, they say, oh, I became a millionaire at 25, I became a millionaire at 27, and I'm
I
like,
know.
nice. It must be
Yeah.
nice. I'm trying to be
Mhm.
you. Like, when you see what they have and you see that you have more than that, but now it's like your hands are tied. You can't
Yeah.
you can't do anything. I want to
Yeah.
do this, but after you get here, they say, oh, you need to have this paper, that paper, and you're like, you don't have them. So it's like
Yeah.
the
The
struggle.
doors are closed.
Exactly.
Doors of
Exactly.
opportunities definitely closed. And for those of my viewers that are going to be watching this later on, they don't really understand, let me tell you what it is to be an immigrant, specifically West African immigrant in America. You come here, you go to high school for free, cool. You pay your taxes, all that stuff, cool. But when it's time for college, you couldn't go. I know from experience, you had to pay for college because you can't get FAFSA at the time back then. Times things have changed. I know policies are always changing, but this is why it's a big issue for many. You couldn't get FAFSA. I know people that couldn't, they couldn't get any loan, student loan back maybe like 2014, 2016 or whatever. They couldn't get student loans. And if you got any loan, as an immigrant, it's like, I feel like the interest rate back then was crazy. It was crazy. And I'm just like, you know what? Forget that. So life is really difficult. And so for you to be able to, start this journey of your entrepreneurial journey, and I hear people at home, they're like, I can't do it, and I look at my American friends or even Africans that were born here, that, they grew up here, and, you're an American citizen. Um, and I look at them, I'm like, dude, you have a passport. You have a passport that opens so much door. It makes no sense for you to just be where you're at currently, complaining about how life is for you. Like, I get it. People go through things, you know. I saw this quote on Instagram. A person was saying, if someone drowns in 70 feet and another drowns in 7 feet, it doesn't really matter the depth. They drowned, right? So someone's going through things, doesn't really matter, sometimes if it's worse or whatever, but they're going through it. So I understand, but I do want people that are watching to also understand how life is, especially people that are trying to get into their entrepreneurial spirit going. As an immigrant in this country, there's a lot of um, things that can definitely be a hurdle, that is like almost impossible to cross over. Even if you want to get into government contract, for instance, and you want to get your small business, a certified woman-owned business, you can't do that unless you're a citizen, right? So these are
Exactly.
things that really are like a hurdle. So if you have the power anywhere to be an advocate for immigration policies, please do that. But no, this is
No,
great though. I love that. Yeah, and then with being an immigrant here, you're trying to like build a legacy, right? And so how do you envision passing down your Cameroonian culture, especially now you have your brand new legacy? She's not I don't hear her voice now, but we were hearing her earlier. And so how do you envision passing down your Cameroonian heritage to your child here in America? Because raising kids here ain't no joke.
man. Basically, like, you don't. I feel like when you go through different stages in life, you have different worries. When I was
Mm,
single, worrying about my kids in America, but now that I have a daughter, I'm like, this America is crazy. And it's like, it's crazy, but this is the land of opportunity. I can't say America is crazy and I carry my child and send her back to Cameroon, because it's
mm-mm.
won't have the same opportunity as there is here in America. So you have to just navigate your way around America without it affecting your child so much. And I feel like the home training is the most important part. Before your child gets out of the house and start mingling out, I need to create a strong foundation at home. They
Mm.
need to know is from, where their dad is from. They need to know the foods. They will see the different, food. They have to blend in with the rest of the family, see the culture, see that we like to dance to Afrobeat, to like to, they have to blend in before they go out. So that even if they go out, they have their roots and the foundation is from here. It's from, they
Mhm.
have their, and so that even if they go out, the American won't affect them so much. Like, even
Mhm.
if you want to do crazy stuff, your home, bringing, it will make you be like, it's just because, I'm not gonna do it. Because, there's
Yeah.
something that you want to do, but because you have some moral upbringing that, even if you want to do it, it's holding you back. It's like, yeah, deep within you, you don't want to do this because this is not you, this is not how you were brought up. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how I want my race. I want her to have that strong cultural upbringing, that moral values from home, and I really want it to be instilled in her so strong where even if she goes out, I won't worry so much about America and all their, everything that's happening in America to affect one. But yeah, that's how. I mean, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a struggle. Some children it's a success, but some children you can do as much as you can and just go up and just do their own. And sometimes you be like, "Am I the one who raised this child?" But I hope that won't. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I know for and a good example for people that are watching to understand the difference with the culture, especially West African culture and American culture. I know when I was a kid, if kids are fighting and beating up each other, as soon as we see an adult, we act right. You get straight because any adult can discipline, any child, especially when you are, doing something that is not supposed to be done, right? And so now in America, when I got here, middle school, I was seeing kids cussing out adults, teachers, they will put like prank teachers and all those different things. I'm like, the respect for adults is quite different, and the fear and respect for adults is quite different from back home to here. And it's not to say that there's everything back home is great, because there's a lot of our tradition and culture that here, like for instance, freedom for women to explore different opportunities is quite different from back home. Because majority of us, if I was back home, I should have like 5 children by now. And maybe I'm the second wife or like the first wife and there's another second wife somewhere in the house. It is it's not cool. So there's definitely some good and bad in both cultures, and it's just a matter of like blending the good on from both and everything. So that's really dope. I
Yeah.
love that. And then, we've talked a lot about different things so far. The culture, our background, entrepreneur spirits, and everything. So what really motivated you to start this journey? I think you gave a little snippet, right? Being an immigrant in this country, you have to find your way, right? But what else in addition to that, or if you want to expound on that, that encouraged you or motivated you to embark on this journey of entrepreneurship, and how has it evolved over time?
So besides the being an immigrant and its challenges, I don't like to work for anybody but myself. That is the one of the main thing that is like I say to myself, oh my god, like when I wake up in the morning and I go to work, I'm like, I can't wait to work for myself. Look, I know working for yourself doesn't mean you have free time, because I know that working for yourself, you're working too, but it's like you're doing your own stuff. You're not out there building someone else's legacy. You're here building your legacy. And that was a drive, beside being an immigrant and the challenges. I was like, and another thing too is like I saw my parents. So my parents back home have a deaf school, a deaf elementary and high school. And I always see them waking up, going to their work, and especially my dad. My dad loved going to work because that was his school. He loved going there. He enjoyed it. It doesn't mean he wasn't waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning to go. He did that, but he enjoyed it because he's building his legacy. I also want that life for myself where I can wake up and do what I want to do because it's my stuff, it's my baby, it's my project that I'm working for. And to build a legacy where even if I pass on, my kids are good. My kids are fine. Like if they like, they don't have to work for anybody, but they're still gonna work for somebody though. So they should know the struggles of it. But I mean, I want to build that legacy, that financial freedom, to be able to do anything that you want to do without the lack of money being your hindrance to, that's one of the frustrating thing. If you want to just wake up and do anything, you don't want to worry about money.
Mm,
Want money to be the first thing I worry about. I want money to be, it shouldn't even be in my worry list. I should worry about the contractors getting the work done. I should worry about the having to deal with the government. I should worry about other stuff that money cannot really manage. But
mm.
money should not be my problem. And especially when I see how much money is being printed out, when I see those videos of the money, I'm like, is this why I wake up in the morning and I'm frustrated when I go work for someone and I'm like, I can't wait to work for myself. I can't wait. And I'm getting there. I mean, it's evolving.
Right.
I'm still someone, but especially now being a mom and being a wife, I'm slowly but surely getting to the point of I'll have to work for myself completely,
Yeah.
where income that I'm receiving from a 9 to 5, my job can, I mean, my business can provide that times two, times three. I'm getting there.
Amen.
And
Girl. No, I have to give you your flowers, girl, because you have been hustling and working. Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
she's an author. She has a book out. She has a couple books out on Amazon. She has planning to create a course. People that want to, especially Africans, Africans don't really know about sign language. So or just black people in general, a lot of people, you know.
yeah,
And I know in our culture, we don't really pay attention to this disabled to the disabled, I guess that's a term that they use, or the categories. And so what you're doing, I think, is splendid. I think it's phenomenal because I don't actually see a representation of our people in that category or that industry and line of work or business. So kudos to you. We have just a few more topics to talk about, and you have gone through a lot. You haven't gone through, you didn't do the walking thing. One of my girlfriends is telling me how people walk from like Cameroon or walk from Nigeria, not literally walking, but that journey to get a, for greener pastures, they almost like smuggling through the different routes and different countries and everything. Thank God we didn't get to that point. But you have had a very interesting life, a very full life, different experiences. What is a key lesson that you have learned so far, especially as an entrepreneur, that someone um, you wish someone maybe have shared this, with you earlier?
So, one of the key lessons that I wish I knew, that's before coming to America. America, you have to work for what you see on the screen. You know, when you're back home and you see the lavish life in America, oh, these people, and you think, oh, American dream, and you come here and you're automatically in the dream. No, not.
And
It's
money is falling from trees.
money falling from tree. That's one. And that's what those who are still back home, they don't understand that money is not falling from trees. I wish it was. It isn't. They live in a lot comfortable life back home than we are here. Here we have to work for the comfortable life that we want. They don't really
Mhm.
have to. They can sleep to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Also, if we're sleeping to that time, we're already calculating of who is gonna pay those bills.
Mm.
And so that I will advise anybody watching this that has just come to America is you can do it, even if you see the struggles. Because I've heard of some stories how some people come here and probably it's not what they expected. They commit suicide, they go into
Oh my
depression.
god.
Don't stress yourself about it. The God that brought you here, the God is going to carry you through and give you the success. You don't have to stress yourself. Just do your research. I feel like the thing that I like about myself is I love to do research. And YouTube is one of the sources that you can go on, do
Mhm.
research. How to make passive, because one of the researches I was making is how to make money without money. That was one of
Mm.
the make, because at that time I didn't have anything. And that was when I started hearing about passive income, how people, you put at least $0 to $100, and if you're consistent, you can be seeing some revenues coming in. Do your research. You have to do your research, and don't limit yourself with your environment and with the way you think, because some people, they're very realistic to the point where it can block their level of vision. So they'll be
Mm.
like, if you I want to do this, I want to do this. So yeah, but you have to, yeah, but they'll give you a lot of birds because they're trying to be
Mhm.
very realistic. Dream way out of it. Dream they when you see these billionaires that are making money, they do not limit themselves. They do not. They dream way above what you could think. If you're dreaming to that point, it means you can get to that point. God will not give you a vision or a dream that you cannot attain. If you're dreaming to that point, just do your research to see how you get there. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take
Mm.
some hard struggles, but be consistent and keep it going. You're gonna make it happen. That's one of the things that is just keeping me rolling, because I have a huge vision and my husband knows. And I sit with him and be like, baby, when you watch some TV, I was like, this is gonna be us very soon. Like, we have to do this, we have to do that. And it's just
Amen.
because I never want money to be an issue. I want something where if I feel like I want to do something, I'll just wake up and I do it. Not wake up,
Mm.
I'm checking my account. If I have enough money, I don't want that. I don't want that
Absolutely.
life. The few advices is, yes, America. Some people say America is a scam. I won't say it's a scam. I would just say
Mm.
is you have to do some work to see the
Yeah.
life that you're expecting, the life that you see on TV. You can live. People live those lives. To be honest, people do, but maybe your circle, the people that you come and be around, they're not living that life, and you might think that, oh, America is not that life. It is. There are people in LA living their lavish life, people in Florida, people in, there are people living that life. You can too, but you have to do your research. You have to be ready to work for it. You have to expand your network.
Yeah.
People out, you don't have to just Cameroonians. I love my people, but sometimes our mind, might not be, they might not have a lot of informations. So I
Mm-hmm.
go out of find a lot of different people that probably, they've had different exposures. Expand your network, do
Yeah.
your research, and yeah, that's it.
No, I think that's
Yeah.
really amazing. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I think it's really amazing that especially what you shared in terms of expanding your territories, expanding your horizon, your knowledge, expanding your group of, the circle of people that you're around. I think that's also been really helpful to me, and although I did not necessarily physically expand my network physically, I mean, actually I did. I ended up doing that, but I think a lot of the things I expanded my mind by absorbing different types of content. That is not just I'm not just
Yeah.
listening to preachers preach. I'm listening to motivational speakers speak. I'm listening to different people on YouTube, as you mentioned. YouTube University is like my number one favorite university. At this point, it needs to be an accredited university so people can get certificates. But thank you so much for sharing all of this. Thank you so much for opening your your heart and your life to share with my audience, to our audience on Chidera's Corner, what you've experienced, how you've been able to overcome your challenges, and I hope that our viewers are inspired by your story, especially people that are, are immigrants that are watching this videos, or just anyone that feels like, man, I don't think I can achieve, I don't think I can get there, I don't think I'm able to. Just people come from nothing and they become something. It's not overnight. There's no overnight success. And as MT mentioned, you got to do your research. Go on that YouTube, go on, and you have ChatGPT. If I
Mm-hmm.
had the kind of resources that are available in 2024 and 23, back in 2014 or 2000 and whenever when I came here, I think I would be a millionaire by now, to be honest with you. But because
It's not.
houses, right,
Yeah.
right. But no, in the midst of all these things, I always love to encourage people, find your own peace and happiness. You know, have fun, because life is not all work and no play makes Jack a dull person. Is a thing, that's how the saying goes. Explore, have fun. If you're in this country, if you're in a different country, and life is hard, for the Africans that are in Africa, it is not sugar and sweet out here. Go ahead. What do you want to share?
I just wanted to add that they
Mm-hmm.
should expand their sources of income, and they
Mm.
shouldn't one thing, because I think that's what some people say. Oh, jack of all trades. Yeah, jack of all trades, but it's better than none, or
One.
better than one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to expand the different trades, the different sources, till you find the one that you feel like it works for you. Don't hear what people are telling that. Oh yeah, you're doing this one. Oh yeah, you're doing that one. Oh yeah, you're doing that one.
Mm-hmm.
Do them. Do
Yes.
all of them. Do all of them. If they are bringing you money, or you're seeing that it's working to you, when you do all of them, then you find one or two that you're just gonna focus on, and it's gonna work for you. I just wanted to just add that piece.
Absolutely. No, no. That's great though, because a lot of people don't understand the importance of diversification. Diversify, spread your, even in the Bible, I think it says, plant your seeds, you never know which one will grow. So thank you so much
Exactly.
again. So much for being on the show. Um, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Thank you. And we will be in touch. Thank you so much for joining.
Chidera, thank you. I will
And
talk out.
wait a minute. How can people get in contact with you? I forgot to even mention that.
Oh yeah, you can reach out to me at Talk with Hands on Instagram.
Okay. And any email, you want to share that or no?
No,
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 no. Okay.
Talk with Hands. Reach out to me on Talk with Hands, and I'll send you more details on there on whatever that you're trying to focus on.
Awesome. Thank you. And just a quick shout out as to what you're currently doing and how people can get involved. Tell us about your YouTube, your Amazon, anything you got going on.
Yeah, so my books are for adults. They are sign language story books. They're sign language activity books both for kids and for adults. I will highly recommend parents to get those books for their kids because it's good for your kids to grow not only knowing English or Spanish but to know sign language, because there's a lot of opportunities out there for your kids. And also for adults who are very interested, there are some activity books that you can get them and practice your sign language skills while you're learning on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you so much, girl. Appreciate you. You have a wonderful
Thank
time. Enjoy the snow because it is snowing. Enjoy some
you. Right.
snow and get some hot tea or something.
Thank
Take
you. Have a
care.
good one.
You as well.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much again for joining me on today's show. It's your girl Chidera signing out. All right, later.